every story appears ordinary till you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is the story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Hello there and welcome to CoreTV News at 7 with me, Sabena Izuku. Petroleum Resource Minister Desian Madueke has meanwhile assured Nigerians that the issues that led to the fuel shortage have been resolved. She disclosed that a meeting that was held with the various oil workers union ended on a positive note. The minister spoke on the sidelines of a meeting on power sector reform at the presidential villa.
At this point in time, I think all short-term planned projects that are to underpin that 5,000 megawatts are progressing steadily. We have commenced construction of the bypass pipeline with our gas company. I think also NPDC is carrying out workover of wells. Even SEPLAT is making very good progress at this time with the installation of the gas plant at Obe. It is also working on a number of wells for us. So we have put in place all the parameters to ensure that in the short to medium term, we are in fact able to support our 5,000 megawatt commitment. So it is our hope, it is still our hope, of course, that the gas pipeline sabotage will be one that is mitigated more and more and consistently as we go over the next 12 to 24 months. But it is a security issue, and we are doing everything to support the security services.
Residents of Abuja have appealed to the Department of Petroleum Resources to monitor the distribution of fuel in the metropolis, following the return of long queues that has been observed at filling stations across the Federal Capital Territory. The residents complain of being on the queue for more hours and ending with no hope of accessing the product. The long queues, which is directly linked to the strike of all workers over the management of their pension, was resolved after all workers under the aegis of the Petroleum and National Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria and National Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers met with Petroleum Minister Desiani Madueke on Friday. The residents, however, linked the unavailability of the product to hoarding, and they have asked the DPR to investigate the cause of the scarcity. One soldier was killed while 4 others were injured in an ambush at the Benishek in Borno State. The Nigerian troops, however, fought through the ambush to dislodge the insurgents, according to the military authorities. Defense headquarters said through its Twitter handle that 4 motorcycles used by the terrorists were captured. Military promised to release more information on the ambush that took place last Wednesday. Senate Minority Leader George Akome is opposed to President Goodluck Jonathan's request for a $1 billion loan to fight insurgency in the northeast. He told journalists in Abuja that there is no need to borrow in order to fight insurgents if the country's resources were managed well. Akome recalled that Nigeria, under the former head of state, retired General Yakubu Gowon, fought a 3-year-long civil war battle without borrowing.
I want to say, and very frankly, and rightly I believe, that we don't need to go a borrowing because we want to fight terror. We have pooled funds for fighting terror on the recommendation of relevant government machinery charged with protecting us. I also want to say that if we manage our resources properly, prudently, and with every respect to accountability, we shouldn't be talking about borrowing $1 billion to fight terror. Attaching this thing to terror doesn't make much sense to many of us. During the Civil War that lasted for 3 or more years, General Gowan was able to take us through that bitter and unfortunate era without borrowing a kobo. So what are we talking about? Borrowing money now.
The federal government has directed heads of various institutions in the country to ensure maximum security in their schools. Education Minister Ibrahim Shekarawo issued the directive when he led a government delegation on sympathy visit to Kano State. He also expressed hope that the attack will not discourage Nigerians, especially in the northern region, from going to school. Shekarawo, who spoke at a meeting with the provost of the school, also visited Muritala Muhammad Teaching Hospital, where many of the injured students are receiving treatment.
Security is not a one-sector affair. Security is the business of everybody. The federal government, the state government, local government, the communities, the elders, society, everybody should be concerned. It is unfortunate that the trend we're experiencing is institutions of learning are being targeted. This is most unfortunate, and I'm sure all of us, state and federal government, and all security agencies and all concerned will have hands on deck to ensure maximum safety of life and properties in our institutions. And as I said earlier on, we will see this as yet another challenge to whoever is concerned to further go back to drawing board to ensure additional strategies to detect and protect the lives and properties of the young ones in our institutions.
We'll take a short break, and when we return, CoreTV News on the Hour continues. Stay with us.
There is an Ebola virus epidemic in some West African countries. The Nigerian government wants you to be aware and watch out against the spread of Ebola in your community. Help keep our country safe and watch out for severe cases of fever, headaches, diarrhea, chest and abdominal pain, sore throat, cough, red eyes and bleeding from the eyes, ears and nose, especially when these symptoms are found in persons coming into Nigeria from other West African countries. Protect yourself. Wash your hands regularly with soap and running water or use a hand sanitizer. Avoid contact with the blood, urine, feces or saliva of animals like bats, monkeys, gorillas, chimpanzees or infected persons. The Ebola virus is deadly. Don't catch it, don't spread it. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information.
Welcome back. The National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, has promised to rehabilitate the lecture hall affected by the bomb and gun attack at the Federal College of Education, Kano. It also pledged to replace chairs and tables that were destroyed in the course of the attack. NEMA Zonal Coordinator Musa Ilala made the promise when he visited the bomb scene.
Emergency Management Agency, along with other stakeholders, were at hand, and they were able to evacuate some of this, all of the victims that were injured to the hospital, and also the dead ones. So we are this morning at the Federal College of Education to see for ourselves what damage has been done to the theater, and also we are now at the hospital to also see this injured. And our assessment is that we, in as much as we are concerned about this increasing attacks on public schools, we think we should ask the public to be very vigilant so that this thing will not occur again. And I can assure you that we have done an assessment. We will now go back to our head office and report what we have seen, so that what intervention the federal government through the National Emergency Management Agency can offer to the school, to the college of education, and also to the hospital here.
As the September 22nd resumption days for primary and secondary schools in the country draws near, authorities of both the private and public schools have insisted on adequate preparation and appropriate health facilities for checking the Ebola virus disease among the pupils and their teachers. The days which has become controversial among school owners, administrators, teachers and parents has remained a subject of discussion within and outside the public domain. Omotayo Alo has the report.
With just few days to the controversial September 22nd resumption date, the coast appears not clear as arguments from all sides of the bargain continue. Lagos State Chairman of the Nigerian Union of Teachers, Adeshegun Rahim, says the schools will only commence the new academic session when the safety of teachers and pupils are guaranteed.
A government official called me just yesterday that they will be distributing some gadgets today. If we move around, we discover that those gadgets are imposed and in their right quantity, the school will open.
A principal of a Lagos-based private school, Adekunle Agbelu, stressed the importance of putting in place adequate measures to properly care for the pupils, the teachers and owners of the schools.
I think the most important thing is that let's do the right thing. Let the Ministry of Education, Ministry of Health, let them go around schools, see how prepared they are for this resumption, how prepared they are for our children that are coming to school to be well protected, not staying at home. Because I tell you, if the students will stay at home, nothing will be done. But knowing the fact that they are in school, then people will do everything to make sure that these children are safe.
For his part, the treasurer of NUT, Kolawole Amao, told the line of his chairman, but added that authorities should ignore the calls for hasty resumption without first putting safety measures in place.
There is also a moral demand on us to protect the pupils and students we teach. Because in the event of there's an outbreak among the rank and file of the pupils and students, definitely teachers cannot begin to celebrate. It will spread.
As controversy persists over the issue, it is not clear if the September 22nd resumption date would be adhered to by all. Omotayo Alo, CoreTV News, Lagos.
In a related issue, the special advisor to the Lagos State government has erased fears over the 22nd of September school resumption date. Special advisor to the state governor on public health, Yewande Additional, says there is no cause for alarm as the stage is set for students to resume in what she described as a well-equipped environment. She made this known at a sensitization and enlightenment seminar organized for over 3,000 teachers by the State Ministry of Health. Once again, Omotayo Alo has the report.
The sensitization seminar was targeted at training teachers on how to manage deadly Ebola and arm them with adequate information for students and awareness of the virus. Teachers present at the training state readiness versus government to contain the virus.
There is no Ebola in Lagos State again. Like what they taught us now, it has shown the last person has been discharged last week. So the Lagos State is free of Ebola virus.
And I'm confident that with the knowledge we gained today, the Ebola disease will be out of all the schools and the students can learn effectively without any fear of the disease spreading in Lagos State.
These government personnel say the training transcends the fight against Ebola.
One can say without any fear of contradiction that we are almost 99%, I assure that our schools, our surroundings are safe and secured from Ebola.
We are saying that teachers should know what to do. Students themselves, the children in school should know what to do, particularly how to wash their hands. That is one of the things we have taught the teachers here today, to go back and teach the children, how to do. And while the government is also providing the infrastructure to wash hands, in those schools. I think with all this, I think the school is ready to resume.
For her part, the special advisor to the governor on public health assures the safety of students and both teachers on resumption.
Lagos State government, with the Ministry of Education and support from Ministry of Health, has put everything in place to make sure that your children will be safe. We are giving each school a thermoscan, not because we want them to use it to screen for Ebola, but so that any child that may develop fever in school will have the appropriate instrument or equipment to check and do the right diagnosis.
The training in the eyes of the state governments will reinforce the premium placed on people's lives and the importance of education in the development of the country. Omotayo Alo, CoreTV News, Lagos.
The second phase of the Rural Access and Mobility Project has been flagged off in Osun State by Governor Rafael Gbeshola. The project is sponsored by the World Bank, French Development Agency, the federal and Osun State government. It's driven at opening the rural areas to economic activities. Rashid was at the flag-off ceremony in Iraikeji in Oriade local government area of the state. And here is his report.
Statistics from the Osun State Ministry of Works revealed that 75% of road network are in the rural areas. This has made rural development a priority for the Aregbesola administration. Launching the second phase of the Rural Access and Mobility Project in Iraikpetu, Special Advisor to the Governor, Kunlege, submits that the government is committed to rural development.
The sustenance of access into rural areas is one of the key objectives of RAMP. This is based on the attainment of all weather and all year-round pliable roads and mobility system. Let me say that your coming to this program is not by accident, but it is due to your importance in the scheme of RAMP.
The country director of RAMP, Ubandoma Ularam, and the representative of World Bank, Muhammad Esakali, commends the strive of the state government in making rural areas economic hub, particularly in its stellar performance in the first tranche of TRAMP, which gave Osun the opportunity to be considered first in the second phase.
To the communities, these are your roads. Osun State is like a body, and the roads are like the blood vessels. So take care of these roads the way you take care of yourself, of your families, of your kids, and of your relatives.
It is our conviction that rural roads hold the key to the transformation of the rural communities. As such, strategic efforts must be geared towards ensuring that most states of the Federation understand this and embrace the RAMP approach to addressing challenges of poor rural transport infrastructure in the country.
Flag of the construction is
Aregbesola laments neglect of rural areas over the years, but averred that proactive steps of his government's support of projects like RAMP will make Osun people smile again.
With the development of agriculture, the festering canker of hunger, unemployment, poverty, poor education can be dealt with. However, indispensable to this agricultural revolution program is according necessary development attention that had long been denied to our rural areas.
The second phase of the Rural Access Project covers 225 kilometers of roads spread across 4 zones in the state. This will also provide initial employment for rural dwellers through ramp construct and road maintenance gangs. Rashid, CoreTV News, Iraikpetu, Oriade Local Government Area, Osun State.
The nation held in its own quarters that Osun State Governor Aregbesola is preparing a grand design to put the state into an Islamic state has been dispelled. This is by no other person than the General Superintendent of the Deeper Life Bible Church Worldwide, William Kumuyi, who paid a courtesy visit to the governor in Osogbo. Rashid has the details.
With all sobriety and thoughtfulness, we say thank you for bringing such a man to lead our state at this time.
That was the humility displayed before God and a symbol the state government has been preaching about religious tolerance. Kumuyi did not beat about the bush about his mission to the state, just as Aregbesola believes Osun will no doubt be blessed by the presence of the man of God.
Looking at about 22 years ago to now and seeing how my relationship with your church and your person possibly affected you, I would not my mind that my meeting you again will have a very, very huge positive impact on my life.
Aregbesola particularly tasked Kumuyi on the need to pray for the development of Osun, adding that the state is also poised to surpass the achievements recorded in the first term of his administration.
Our wish is to put into those 4 years programs, policies and projects that will only be possible in 20 years. And we are believing God that through the prayers of your time, very easy and possible.
Amen.
Overwhelmed by the hospitality and warm reception, Kumuyi, an indigene of Ilesha in Osun, says Aregbesola is not pursuing any Islamic agenda as believed in some quarters.
I don't know what they have observed or what they have seen. What I've seen is that the governor, Ogbeni Aregbesola, is a governor for everybody in the state. And I believe that he's a man for everyone. And he wants the progress of the whole state, whether you are Muslim or Christian or non-Muslim, non-Christian.
The governor promised to attend the church crusade as an evidence of the peaceful relationship between Muslims and Christians in the state. Rashid, CoreTV News, Oshobo.
Now let's take a short break, and when we return, we'll take you outside Nigeria. Stay with us.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website, www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime Days.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. And Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then news. CoreTV News, a 24-hour news station.
Welcome back. Scotland has said no to independence. The historic election will keep Scotland as part of the United Kingdom. But there are some significant changes still coming to the region. Scotland had a chance to break apart from the United Kingdom, but the public has spoken and the vote wasn't even that close. About 55% of Scottish voters rejected the referendum to make Scotland an independent country. 45% said no. British Prime Minister David Cameron is now expected to go through with his promise to increase Scotland's powers. Electoral officials say almost 85% of the registered voters in Scotland turned out to make their voices heard. And that wraps up this hour. Please do join us on our primetime news at 9:45 p.m. I am Sabina Izoku, and thank you very much indeed for being with us.